Students, now we are going to see the chapter variables and expressions. We are going to study the details about the variables and the expressions in Java. So first of all, we are going to see what are variables. Okay, the variables are otherwise called as identifiers. The other name of variables is identifiers. So what is a variable? Variable is a named memory location that is used to store some values. Okay, that is which contains a value. So identifiers are also called as variables in Java programming. A variable is a named memory location which contains a value. The value of a variable can change depending upon the circumstances and problems in a program. Variable can possess any combination of letters without space. It is must to know that a variable name does not contain any space. Okay, we can declare more than one variable of the same data type in a statement. So the syntax of declaring a variable is like this. Data type, first we have to write the data type, that is whether it is an integer, float, character or boolean or string, whatever it may be. Then put a space. So after the data type, put a space and write the variable name. Okay, so this is the variable is m, the data type is integer. Here p, q, r, all the variables are having the decimal value, so the data type is float. P is also float and q is also float and r is also float, so that the float is written in the same line. A value assigned to a variable sets itself in the memory location named with the variable. If certain change is made due to an operation, it is mentioned in the same location. Thus, a variable can change its value, which is shown in the figure. See, here before execution, before running the program, int m equal to 5. The value 5 is stored in the memory location m. Data 5 is stored in the location named n. So after execution, here we applied one formula, m equal to m into m. So what is the value of m here? 5. So 5 into 5 is 25. So the value 25 is stored in the memory location m after execution. Okay. The value of the variable m changes to the memory location after execution. Now we are going to see how to initialize a variable. So initializing a variable. When you declare a variable, it contains sort of garbage value, okay, which may create problem during execution of a program. You may not obtain proper result although your program logic is correct. Under such circumstances, you need to initialize a variable. A variable may be initialized by assigning specific value to it. Initialization of a variable may take place in the following two ways. So there are two ways of initialization of the variables. First one is static and next one is dynamic. Okay. First we are going to see what is static initialization. Okay. In this process uses direct assignment of a variable which is defined constant. The variable is initialized during its declaration. So when we are writing the program, we are declaring the value of a variable inside the program. Okay, so it is called a static initialization, that is before its actual use of in the programming logic. For example, see, int a, integer, the variable a is integer, so we assigned the value of a as 0. Here float, so we assign the value of float as 0.0, double, 0.0 character. There is a space between two single quotes are there. That is empty character. Here also an empty string, boolean, true or false value we can store. Okay. So before execution, before declaration of the variable is inside the program, um, during its declaration. Okay. This is called static initialization. Next one is dynamic initialization. See, when a variable gets initialized at runtime, that is during the execution of the programming logic, is termed as dynamic initialization. Means we are using if we are using some formulas inside the program, so the value of the variable must change during the execution of the program. After compiling, after running the program, it will calculate the value according to the calculation. So the value of the variable must change. That is called dynamic initialization. Under this situation, a variable is assigned with the outcome of any arithmetical or logical function. For example, you see a, B, C integer. Here we used one formula C equal to A plus B. So whatever value stored in the variable A and B will be added together and it is the value of C. Here you see float P equal to this value, K equal to this value, F equal to P plus K. So the value of the variable F is declared after executing the value. So this is called dynamic initialization. Next we are going to see the rules of naming a variable. Okay, so to name a variable there is some rules and regulations. First one is a variable may have any number of characters. Okay, when we are assigning the name of a variable, there is no restrictions for characters. We are able to use any number of characters. Second one, it may contain alphabets, digits and underscore. Okay. Third one, the underscore can be applied in between the characters to increase the length of a variable name. So if you want to write a big word for a variable name, one thing we have to observe that there should not be any gap between the words. So if you want to put a gap between two words, in between two words, then you will put a underscore. Okay, so the underscore can be applied in between the characters to increase the length of the variable name. The last one is variable's name should be meaningful, which easily depict the logic. So whatever value, so if you want to find the sum of two numbers, you can take any two numbers A and B. We are going to calculate the sum, so you can use one variable as sum. Okay, so whatever variable you are using inside the program, that should be a meaningful variable name, so that we can easily understand the program. Now we are going to say the reasons for a variable to be invalid. Okay, first one, variable name should not start with a digit or special characters. Okay, if any variable start with a digit, we are able to use the digit in between the characters, but it should not start with a digit. Second one is a variable name should not include a space in between its characters. If you want to put a space in between the characters, just you can use a underscore. Third one, a digit should not be applied in between the characters of a variable name. The next one, a variable name should not be reserved or keyword. So we cannot able to use a keyword or keyword in as a variable name. For example, public, static, void. So these are called as keywords. So we cannot use these reserved words as a variable name. Next is operators and expressions in Java. So what are called operators and what is called operands? So operators means these are the symbols that is used to perform some operations. Okay. Then operands means these are the values used along with the operators to do some specific operation. Okay. So operators, you often need to perform some mathematical or logical operations in a Java programming. In such circumstances, you need some mathematical symbols to perform these tasks. Thus, an operator is basically a symbol or a token which performs mathematical or logical operations and give meaningful result. The values which are involved in the operations are termed as operations. So the symbols are called as operators and the values are called as operands. Now we are going to see the types of operators. So basically there are three types of operators in Java which are as follows. First one is arithmetical operator, second one is relational operators, and third one is logical operators. Okay. So first we are going to see what is arithmetical operators. The operators which are applied to perform arithmetical calculations in program. Arithmetical calculations with mathematical calculation. So what are the operators we are used here in arithmetic operation? Addition, plus, minus, division, modulus, and multiplication. Okay, these are known as arithmetical operators. Some basic calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus are often needed while programming. You can apply the arithmetical operators thus like plus, minus, into, divide and modulus respectively to carry out these calculations. The next one is we are going to see the difference between the arithmetical expressions and arithmetical statements. So first we are going to see arithmetical expression. An arithmetical expression may contain variables, constants and arithmetical operators together to produce a meaningful result. For example, so x plus y. So this is an expression. Then m minus 15. This is an expression. So there is some meaning inside the statement. Okay. The next one is arithmetical statement. What is called as a statement? If an arithmetical expression is assigned to a variable, then it is known as arithmetical statement. For example, variable equal to arithmetical expression. Here arithmetical expression means x plus y. There is no memory locations to store this expression. But arithmetical statement means we are using one variable to store the arithmetical expression. So, for example, z is equal to x plus y. So, when we add these two values, it will be stored in the value z. Okay, so this is the difference between arithmetical expression and arithmetical statements. The next one is expressions in Java. Okay, so when we write a Java program, it is necessary to modify the arithmetical expressions to Java form. So there are some examples. So here it is written as A, B, C. This is a mathematical expression. When we write this mathematical expression A, B, C, we understand that it is a multiplication. Okay. So but in Java expression, when you are writing any formulas inside the Java program, we cannot able to write like this ABC C equal to neither x equal to ABC we cannot able to write. We have to put the symbol here A asterisk B asterisk C. Then AB matlab A into B plus B into C plus C into D. Like this we have to write. These are mathematical expressions and these are Java expressions. So now we are going to see the type of arithmetic operators. So arithmetical operators are divided into three parts. They are unary operator, binary operator and ternary operator. Unary means we are using only one operand. Okay. And then binary operator means we are using two operands. Ternary operator means we are using three operands. Okay. Operands means values. Unary operator, an arithmetical operator which is applied with a single operand, is called unary operator. For example, plus, minus, plus, plus, minus, minus, etc. Then unary plus operator. So this unary plus operator is applied before the operand. It is just applied as a pointer to a value, which result in the same value of a variable. For example, a equal to 8. Then plus a will result in 8. Okay. A equal to minus 10. Plus a will result in minus 10. Then unary minus operator. This operator is used in the same way as a unary plus operator. This is also applied before the operand. Unary minus reverse the sign of an operand. For example, see, a equal to 4, then minus a is minus 4. A equal to 0, minus a is 0. A equal to minus 3.6. So minus a means it will be a positive value. Okay. Unary increment and decrement operator. If the operator is before the operand, so we have to increase the value by 1. If the operator is after the operand, before execution, the value will remain as it is. For the same case, we have to use in the decrement operation also. So see here, unary increment and decrement operators, that is plus plus increase the value of operand by 1 and minus minus decrease the values of an operand by 1. Here some examples are there. So if the unary increment operator is in the prefix form and the postfix form. So if it is in the prefix, that is change before action. So for example, plus plus a. So we have to increase the value by 1. If it is a plus plus, the value of a will remain as it is. Okay. We'll see here. See here the prefix. When the increment or decrement operator is applied before the operand, it is known as prefix operators. These operators work in the principle of change before action. It means the value of the variable changes before the operation takes place. For example, p equal to 5. So plus plus p means it will become 6. So 6 fours are 24. So what is the value of p? It is 24. So if it is in the postfix form, it will be different. See, if it is in the postfix, this unary operator is used after the operand whose value is to be increased or decreased by 1. This works in the principle of change after the action. This means that the operand will affected after the operation is performed. For example, p equal to 5. So if it is after the operand, it will remain as it is. That is 5 fours are 20. But thus p will be result in 21. P increases by 21 after execution. Okay. After execution, it will increases by 1. The next one is some solved examples are here. The value of a is 4, b is 3. Find the value of c equal to a plus plus into 6 plus plus b into 5 plus 10. So a plus plus means the value will remain as it is. Therefore, it is 4 into 6. Plus plus b means b value will increase by 1. That is 4 into 5. 4 5s are 20 plus 10. So you have to add. Like this, you have to see all these examples. Okay. The next one is binary arithmetic operators. Binary means two operands. Okay, these arithmetic operators, an arithmetic operator which deals with two operands is known as binary arithmetic operator. For example, plus, minus, into, division and modulus. See, one table is there. Here you will see division means we will take the quotient as the answer. Modulus means we will take the remainder as the answer. The next one is relational operators. So arithmetical operator is over. The next one is relational operators. These operators are used to show the relationship among the operands. Relational operators compare the values of the variables and result in the terms of true or false, that is 0 or 1. So these are the relational operators, that is less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, double equal to, not equal to. Okay, so these all are for comparison of the values. So the output of logical, whenever you are using logical operators in a statement or a program or to check a condition, the result will be either true or false. So next one is logical operators. Java uses logical operators and means these two symbols you have to use, or means this is the or symbol, and not means this. These operators yield in 1 or 0 depending upon the outcome of different expressions. The types of logical operators along with their formats are shown below. Here A greater than B and A greater than C. These two conditions we are checking. A equal to B or A equal to C. Okay, either this or that. Then not means not equal. Logical or. This operator is used to combine two conditional expressions. It will result in true if either of two conditions is true, otherwise false. So if we are using uh, OR operator, either two conditions are there. So if the first condition is true and the second condition is false, so we will get the answer as true. The first condition is false and the second condition is true, so we will get the true. If both the condition are false, then the output will be false. If both the condition are true, then the output also true. Either one condition is false and another one is true, then also the output is true. Logical AND means both the conditions should be, if both the condition are true, then the output is true. If both the condition are false, then the output is false. If any one condition is false, the output also false. Logical not operator means uh, just it will reverse the value. Okay, the logical not operator is applied when you want to reverse the outcome of an expression. It is an unary operator because it uses a single operand. 8 greater than 3. So the answer is false because 8 greater than 3 is true. 5 less than 7. The answer is false because 5 is less than 7 is true. Just invert, just opposite value you can take. 3 less than 0. So the answer is true because the original output, that is 3 greater than 0, is false. Just opposite of the condition you have to take in logical not operator. Next one is ternary operator. Ternary operator is otherwise called as conditional assignment operator. So ternary operator deals with 3 operands. It is also called as conditional assignment statement because the value assigned to a variable depends upon the logical expression. So the syntax of the ternary operator is first variable, then we have to check one condition. If the condition is true, it will take the expression 1 as an output. If the given condition is false, after colon the expression 2 is there, it is the output. Okay, so this is an example for the ternary operator. See the first one, C equal to 3 less than 4. the condition is true. If it is true, you have to take this as a value. 3 into 4. 4 3s are 12. So what is the value of C? 12. C 12. The next one is A equal to 14, B equal to 4. X is equal to first variable, then condition. X is equal to A greater than B. So 14 is greater than 4. If the condition is true, it is true, otherwise false. So it is true. So see the next one, character C equal to X less than equal to 90. So X ka value 90. 19 is equal to 90. So Z. That is the value. Okay. Like this you have to calculate all this. This is the example of ternary operator. The next one is write the Java expressions for the following. This you have to do by yourself. Okay. How to write? For the square root you write P into Q into math dot sqrt of 3. Like this you have write all these mathematical expressions. The next one is write short answers. So try to write all this answer for all these questions. Okay. Now we are going to see some question answers related to this chapter, variables and expressions. The statement n plus plus is equal to n plus 1. If a equal to minus 1, then plus plus a returns 0. The symbol equal is known as an assignment operator. An expression is a set of variables, constants and arithmetical operators. An expression that includes different data types of the variable is known as impure or mixed mode expressions. Next is the default value of Boolean constant is false. Plus plus m is an expression, whereas plus plus is a prefix increment operator. The shift right operator bits of the number are shifted to the right and fills 0 on void on the left. A variable can possess any combination of letters without space. Tokens are the smallest unit of a Java program. Ternary operator is also known as the conditional operator. The null literal is represented as null. Next, explain the meaning of the following shorthand operators. Plus equals. Plus equals means it is an add and assign operator. So a plus equal to b is equivalent to a equal to a plus b. Thus this is shift and assign operator, and this one is multiplication. A multiplication equal to b means a equal to a into b. This is right shift assign operator. This is modulus and equal to, this is divide and equal to, this is not equal to. Then arrange the operators according to their precedence. So operators, precedent, logical and, that is postfix. Then additive, multiplicative, relational. Precedent operator is additive. Then conditional, relational. Multiplicative, logical and, logical or, assignment, conditional, postfix, assignment. Then short question answers. What is meant by token? Already know what is meant by a token. Token means that is the smaller unit that is used inside a program. Okay, a token is the smallest element of a program that is meaningful to the compiler. The different types of tokens in Java are identifiers, literals, operators, separators and keywords. So what are reserved words? Name at least 5 reserved words. Reserved word means keywords that is used in a Java programming. In Java, a reserved word is a word that has a predefined meaning in the language. Due to this, reserved words cannot be used as a name of variables, methods, classes, or any other identifier. Reserved words are also known as keywords. 5 commonly used Java reserved words are public, class, int, double, and character. Char. The next one, explain the following with an example assignment operator. Already we studied. Then relational operator. The next one is logical operator, ternary operator. Okay, it is repeated question. The next one is why do you declare a variable? Explain. So you know why we are declaring a variable. Then what are operators? Name the different types of operators used in Java. Next, explain arithmetical operator with their types. Next is what do you understand by shift operators? Explain. So shift left operator, signed shift right operator, unsigned shift right operator. This you have to explain. Next question, distinguish between unary and binary arithmetic operators. So already we learned. So you write the answer, then prefix operator, and next one is prefix and postfix operators. Next is variables and constants. So these all are repeated questions. Okay. Next one is assignment and expression. What is the difference between the assignment and expression? The next one is how does a Boolean literal different from string literal? Explain. This also you have to know, write the answer. Then the 10th question is evaluate the following expressions if the values are like this. So like the same way it is another one expression, and the steps also given below how to solve it. C question, this is another expression. D, another expression, and the steps also here. And this is the final question with the expression and the steps also here. So students, the chapter variable and expression is ending here. You learn all the theory part, you read all the theory part once and try to solve all the question answers. So the chapter is over here.